Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to this morning's live unboxing discussion and gosh, whatever else. Running a little behind. Seems I'm always running just a little bit behind on these. My boss said that he was going to call me this morning, help him with something that shouldn't take me long. I thought he would have called me by now, so I'm not sure if he's going to call me or not. So I had several figures that were sent that they were en route to me, and I expected them to be here by now. One of them is a Thor that's on his way, which hasn't arrived yet, and I found the first edition Lady Death. It's on its way. I did get this Atari 2-pack in addition to the single packs of the Soldier and the Commander that I bought. What's going on, Dazal? Morning. And I have this Sideshow R2-D2 Deluxe, which I can open up. And I have, I don't know if you guys seen, I haven't made a video on it yet. Phicen / TB League has made now 1/12 scale figures in their seamless bodies. There's a pale and a suntan, and they're like $50, and they literally are 6 inches, so they're half the height of 1/6 scale, but they're seamless, and that's going to be the same size as Marvel Selects and SH Figuarts and other 1/12 figures. So it's going to be good to be able to have that now for your figures. I don't know if they're going to continue on with that, but I know a lot of collectors that collect those, I'm sure, are going to be quite pleased with that. What's going on, Noble Young? Welcome. So, of course, on the Ant-Man, I buy these. This is an SH Figuarts because we get Ant-Man in, many different sizes. So in many different incarnations. So in my opinion, you can't go wrong with that, especially if it's a good looking one, like this one. Really looks good. It's like I bought that 1/9, which I haven't put up yet, by King Arts. So you can pose these together or in different areas to get, your story going. Another thing that I bought, because of the diecast figures that have been coming out recently, this Mark V, I bought an original Mark V. Now, I already owned a Mark V, and I also have the Mark V diecast, which I own. And so these originals, people have been selling them for, I don't know, pretty good price. I picked this one up for under $200. So when this was out, 2012, I think, is when this first came out. When this first came out, I think it was $180 or something along that line. And so now you can get them again. Guys, this thing's totally out of focus. What in the world? So I bought this. Like I said, I got it for less than $200. So if you haven't, if you don't have the $400 or whatever it is to buy a new diecast, or if you missed the diecast, now's a great time to be getting a hold of stuff like this. So I bought this on eBay, and why is that out of focus? Let me look at this for a minute. Maybe it's just my eyes are out of focus. Maybe it's in focus and I'm not in focus. Hey, Black Friday buys. No, man, I tell you what, That's why the boss is going to call me this morning. Some of you may know I'm a systems administrator for a small little retail company, and I'll be doggone if the computers didn't go down yesterday morning. So I had to go address that. Boy, that's a fun thing to do. When I work remotely, I have to go to the store. So when I have to go to the store, it's because trouble happened. And needless to say, trouble happened. So that's where I was. I didn't do any Black Friday shopping at all. Why isn't this thing focusing? Is this in focus? Let's see. No, it's not. What in the absolute world? This is insane, guys. I am really sorry about this. Looks like it's a focus here to me. Is it a focus to you guys? Well, the Hot Toys Phil Coulson figure, does it come with his ID badge? Ah, man. That Hot Toys Phil Coulson figure comes with a mess of stuff. I've never... I kind of did like a live unboxing of him a long time ago. And then I was going to do like a real unboxing. And I never did. So I kind of kept everything in the package. So here's the case. So here's the outside of the box that he comes with. Right there. With his little Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. emblem, and it's a sleeve box. And then this is what the inside package looks like. And then all the stuff that he comes with. Just as you were asking, he certainly does come with an ID badge. My desk is a mess, and I just organized this. I didn't have an opportunity to, or I didn't take the opportunity to straighten this out. Let's get Phil over here. I got him back here on my Avengers shelf. And I displayed him with the Captain America shield that he's seen at Tony Stark's mansion in Malibu. And I'm using a Captain America stand for him, because that would be the team he would have been on. 100% sold on Captain America. Comes with some really shiny shoes. By the way, there's a company that's released the Men in Black figures. They made an announcement for the set of those. It's like $516. And speaking of getting a mess of stuff, you get the egg chairs, and you get their little round one-wheel bikes, several firearms. The suits that they're showing, they're not... I wish they were as nice as this Phil Coulson suit. This Phil Coulson suit looks really nice with the shiny shoes, patent leather shoes. And I hope this is in focus, guys, because what I'm looking at, it's out of focus. Until Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I've always thought he was an accountant. He looks like one. He does kind of look like an accountant, doesn't he? Move my Lady Death out of the way. I love this Lady Death. I was really pleased when I found that first release Lady Death. I searched eBay a lot for anything that could happen be coming up. So I found this Mark V, and I seen that first edition, first release Lady Death, and I was like, yeah, I'll be taking that. So let's get back to this Phil Coulson here. So he comes with a little folder here, kind of like Pepper Potts came with her little thing, and so it's partitioned out, so you can put little papers, recent papers in there. And it says security level 7, or above required. It says classified on that. And here's all his little stuff. So you get his little BlackBerry or his iPhone, cell phone, and you get a little wristwatch. You get the Captain America trading cards, his ID badge, and his walkie-talkie, and a pair of sunglasses. I've never taken this out, so I don't know whether or not the trading cards are actual, like, multiple cards or just a stack of them. His W2. Oh, they're wrapped up tight here. So I bought this new. I mean, I was fortunate enough to find someone who'd never opened it. So everything is still sealed up. And this looks like it's really a whole stack of playing cards. See if I can figure out how to open this. Mess with that in a minute. He also comes with this. This is the big weapon that he fired at Loki in Avengers, and it lights up. And remember, he says to something to the effect of, "I'm not even sure what this does," and then he fires it, and he goes, "Oh, that's what it does." Where's the little? There we go. Here's a little button for it right here. And you can see how it lights up. Buttons underneath. I don't know if you can see that or not. So that's pretty cool. I mean, that's definitely a Rocket Raccoon would definitely be very pleased with this. No doubt about it. Scope slide back and forth. And he comes with a little pistol. Most of the time these they'll rack back, so yeah, of course, it'll rack back. And a lot of times these will come out too, sure enough. So the magazine will slide out of it with a little round available there in it. And then he comes with the two holding hands. He comes with kind of a finger pointing hand, but not really. And a pistol holding hand. Pair of wrist pegs. Never had too many of those. And this would be kind of like his document holding hand. So the way the thumb is, you can just slide his papers right into his thumb there. And then he comes with his own little base. And for these bases, depending on where I'm posing the guys, determines whether or not I use the round bases or the seven-sided bases or the big square bases. So, like I said, I'm using a Captain America base on this for him. And so I was very pleased to get a hold of this. I mean, Phil Coulson's awesome. And, you know, like you said, he's got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Trip to Haiti. Where does the pistol go? Welcome. I'm glad you made it, Ian. Good seeing you. I was thinking of getting him from Captain Marvel. Definitely, Rick. I don't think you can go wrong if you got him. I'm just messing on Agent Coulson. He is all right. Man, I'm digging him. Coulson would be great with Agent Smith and Men in Black, especially with that new set coming out, man. Like I said, looking at the outfit on the new Men in Black suit, I really wasn't feeling that. But if you swap them out, put these guys in there, whatever. And I think I'm going to get that Men in Black. I'm not sure. It's like a whole year out. All you can do is put a deposit down on it and then pay for it when it comes out. Cool gun. Shame you didn't do that with the Chitauri weapons. You should do a collection tour. Love those. Yeah. I should do one now that I've rearranged everything, actually. Redone the dork room. Sharbus likes to call him the dork room. I don't even recognize the dork room right now. Oh, one thing I want to tell you, if you guys are buying third-party stuff like this Mark V that I bought, and as many of these figures that I've bought over the years, you would think I would learn by now. Study that photograph on eBay. I mean, totally and completely. Most anticipated from Avengers 4, definitely. About the PS4 Spider-Man, yeah. On Black Friday. Hot Toys figures are getting more tempting now. I definitely pre-ordered both of those, the Spider-Punk and the Advanced Suit, I think is what it's called. Right now, I have a choice finishing the Nolan collection, a few figures to go, or getting the Gantry Mark IV. Man, I tell you what, I've got two of those Gantries. I've got the original one and the new one. I'm going to put the Mark II in one of those because he actually had to use those. Anyhow, study the pictures, dude. I'm telling you, I don't know why people are so deceitful. I mean, gosh dang it, tell me. Just say, hey, look, it's damaged here, so I know what I'm getting involved in, and that way I'll know whether I'm going to be overpaying for the figure or not. And the 20 or 30 bucks more that you're going to make or lose from saying, you know, the wrist guard is broken on it, big freaking whoop. But at least if I knew it, probably it's not going to stop me from buying it because I can kind of, when you own Hot Toys, as you know, super glue becomes your best friend. It really does. You end up having to fix a lot of these toys over time. And but when you see one that's totally broken, it's like, come on, man. You should have told me. So look at the pictures completely. So this Mark V came, and the wrist is broken on it. And that kind of really upset me. Nurse Joker, Cop Joker, Bank Robber, or Mark IV Gantry. Golly. The both of the caps, I think Sideshow's told me that they're coming. The movie promo edition and the concept version. I don't know. I've done unboxing of my. This is how it comes. You get all this here, and then you get a second layer. Has this little suitcase. Comes with two stands with you get the clear rod, and you get the crotch grabber with the round base, the lobster claw, the light up original hull of armor. But where this guy is broke at, I don't know how I'm going to be able to fix this. I'll find a way, or I'll not. One or the other. I'll just make maybe my damaged one. Hot Toys is getting more pricey. Not only the new ones, but the resellers. Damaged Hot Toy from Big Bad Toy Store. How's their customer service? Remarkable. I've not had a problem with Sideshow or Big Bad Toy Store in regards to having something damaged, as long as you contact them within 30 days. So when you get your figure, open it and expect it immediately. But you have 30 days, and just contact them. And depending on what it is that's wrong with it, they may ask you to further explain with a photograph or a video. They may ask you to return the figure, or they may ask you to destroy the figure. But other than that, I mean, they're great about it. Spider-Man game really made the Scarlet Spider suit design look better than ever. I buy the Hot Toys. Man, I'll tell you what, I hope that they come out with a Scarlet Spider Hot Toy. Yeah, man, third-party stuff, like I made a video for the Mantis. About time on that somebody made a Mantis. I love Palm Clementine's character of the Mantis, and I watched the video when they asked her, did she know anything about Mantis before taking the role? And she said that when she was given the role, more or less, she started reading up on the Mantis and seeing all these different versions of her, and different artists had made different versions of her. So she was talking to James Gunn, because he's the one that had originally done the Guardians of the Galaxies, the first two Guardians of the Galaxies, and said, you know, this and that, whatever else, what you plan on doing. And he said this was going to be his vision of the Mantis. So, I mean, I didn't know anything about the Mantis from comics, but I really dig that. I love the interaction that her and Drax had. God, what a perfect pairing that was. Anything is Marvel, DC. I got some QMX Star Trek. Dude, I was so in love in the Star Trek. Of course, I've been a Star Trek fan. I was a Star Trek fan before I was a Star Wars fan, before I was a Marvel fan, before I was anything. I was a Star Trek fan. Don't remember whether I discovered Star Trek first or whether I discovered Superman and Batman first. But, man, I really struggled on those QMX figures, man. Sideshow takes a deposit now for in-stock items, not just pre-orders. Now makes me a little upset. Yeah, Sideshow started doing that about 2 years or so ago, and they take a deposit on everything. And Big Bad Toy Store started taking a deposit about 9 months ago, or maybe a year ago, but it was only on figures that are in excess of, I think, $300, which nowadays, that's pretty much every Iron Man figure. You're going to be paying a deposit at Big Bad Toy Store. Captain Phasma. It seems it was either a display piece or a return, because the ball joint was broke in the hand on two hands. Suits for Bruce Wayne, Tony Stark, etc. Right. So like I said, when I go back and look at the video or not the video, but the photograph on eBay, you can see the damage. And if I really wanted to be adamant about it, I'm sure I could contact eBay and say, hey, this guy said it was used. He didn't say damaged. And I probably could have forced him to give me some money back or something to that effect. But like I said, I got this for less than $200. I'm pleased with it. But this wrist gauntlet is broken here. And it's just not broken. It's broken. As in, I don't think it can be repaired. From my expertise, it's going to have to probably either just be off or hard glued on into a fixed position. And on the Mark V, that's a problem because a couple of reasons. First of all, this is a unique figure, and there's no other wrist gauntlet. You can't borrow it from a 4 or a 6 or a 7 or anything like that. It's a unique wrist guard. It's totally 100% unique. And it's attached to the body. It's attached to the arm here. It doesn't come off. like on the 4s, the 6s, and the 7s, you can slide them off. It doesn't come off. So what happened was, evidently, the guy that owned it originally probably held on to this as he pulled off the hand and just snatched it clean off. And he was at least kind enough to include it, so I can attempt to try to repair it. But what it would snap into, the little piece that holds this on there, is gone. So I caution you whenever making a purchase, either one, make sure you haven't overpaid for it, so that if you find out that it's damaged, you're not going to be so angry. Like in this case, I'm like, I got a good price on it, because they're selling for a little bit more, actually. So I'm not too really bent in that regards. Or two, at least know that you can fix it. And for you guys, as you go about, should you ever decide that you want to sell one of your Hot Toys figures, full disclosure, dude. I mean, just let us know, hey, it's a little damaged here, that's not whatever else. So, like on these Mark Vs, every one of them has bad knees. And I don't even think I'd even have to tell anybody it's got bad knees. If you're going to have one, it's going to have bad knees. But on these guys, it's pretty easy to fix. And I'll talk about it in one other video. There's a screw right inside of here, and you just, right here is a screw on the inside of these legs, and you just get you a jeweler screw and just push the plastic up out of the way, and you can tighten this down, and you'll be able to put some more resistance into the legs. So of course, this one I tightened down, this one I have not yet, and you can see the difference in it there. So after I gave it a tight, it will now stay just where I put it at. This one I haven't tightened up yet, but it came with loose knees. They all do. But if you know how to fix them, like I said, by just screwing that in, you're going to resolve that problem. So I'm very pleased to get this. I recommend looking out for these types of deals now that people are dumping these. He's got the pink hands, and I bought some paint. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix these. I'm going to fix some of my Mark IVs that are fading out, and I need to make a video on that. So now's a good time to get a hold of these other ones. And I guess I'm just ranting on to let you guys know my opinion of, if you have a broken one, man, let it know when you sell it what the damage is, so that when the guy gets it, or whomever, they're not going to be all angry and give you a negative review on eBay, because there's nothing like, it really is a small community. There's nothing like really torquing off other collectors in this hobby. It should be a fun hobby, not a hobby where like, oh, well, don't buy it from that guy because he's a real jerk. Yeah, I buy a lot of the clothes too, because then you get to make figures that haven't been made. Thank you. I received the Captain Phasma. It seems as either display, all right. Bruce Wayne. Thoughts on Justice League figures getting delayed? I understand they tried to pump out Infinity War before Avengers 4, but I mean, come on. Hot Toys, I want my Batman. Can you get another Iron Man? Can't you get another Iron Man? What do you mean? Wrist gauntlet. Oops, answer my question. I really wanted an Infinity War Falcon with that beard. Am I the only one? You know, it's funny. On the Falcon, let's see, which would you get? Nurse Cop and Bank Joker, or Mark IV Gantry? I already own two Mark IV Gantries. Heath Ledger, man, did an amazing Joker. So I guess I would say I already bought the Gantries. So if I hadn't, then it would have been a Gantry, because I've got two of them. Don't want all Iron Man stuff. I'm good with 7, 46-3, and some diecast, except my 7 and Mark 1. Yeah, and that's the same thing, because, like I said, I'm a Star Wars fan, and a Star Trek fan, and a Predator fan, and all of these figures, dude, you go broke. I mean, what do they got coming out this month? I think I've got 5 figures coming, $300 a piece. Come on. If they did that every single month, on top of that, with the Stormtroopers that are constantly being released, and the Batman and all that, how could you possibly $3,000 a month in figures? It's impossible. You can't collect them all. You have to collect what you want. So one of the questions that a lot of new collectors ask are, which figure should I buy? Which figure do you want? And it's funny, you start off with one or two, and next thing you know, you're collecting them all. You're tracking down the old ones. You're looking for that holy grail. You're looking for the ones that you missed out on. And it becomes a fun hobby and an obsession if you're not careful. But collect what you want, because it's going to be a long time before you're able to turn something over and above what you paid for originally. Except for right now, it seems if I had bought like a dozen Spider-Mans, I could have sold them for $600 a pop. But again, who can afford that? Number two, just pick your poison, man. Yep. Star Wars is getting easy to avoid now, except a few. And that's why I definitely am the Astromech collector. I love those guys. And I see things that I'm like, oh man, it sure be nice to have that figure. And I got to keep it to some degree. It's like a mask, the mask from the movie Mask, because I love the figure. It's a cool character. So I haven't taken him out to display him yet. This is like the second release. I guess Asmus Toys made one before. Stanton and Mason had made one before. And so then this is like the re-release of it. I don't remember if it was the exact same, but I purchased this because I wanted it. And I encourage you to do that. Get what you want, because your collection is going to grow quickly. You know, and talking about the Hulkbuster, the first hot toy I bought was the Mark 17 Heartbreaker, and I love that figure. I own, obviously, the original Hulkbuster. He's down here. And he didn't come with the jackhammer hand, and I made several videos on that. And now I pre-ordered the jackhammer arm for that Hulkbuster, but because he's still like a year and a half out, I'm probably going to go ahead. Sheesh, I must be out of my mind. I think I'm going to buy another Hulkbuster also with the jackhammer hand on it. So yeah, I think I've totally lost my gourd. Something's wrong with me. Triples of him? Triples of who, Robert? The first one that you got? Chris Reeve? Man, I loved Chris Reeve Superman. I just collect all the Iron Man and enemies. But one day, when the bottom falls out of the market, like with stamps and baseball cards, I will then collect the other Avengers. Snag Magnet. Snag Magnet? So I don't buy these 1/12 figures. So I don't know how good these SH Figuarts are. Are any of you guys out there collectors of these? Okay, question. Most expensive hot toys you got? Most cheap you got? Phil Coulson, man. He was a pretty good price. I think he was like $120 when he was brand new. Most expensive one that I have? Well, I guess that depends. Are you talking about most expensive I paid for, or what it's worth now? Because like these Mark 47s and these Spider-Mans, they're like pushing $1,000. I know that these guys up here are worth some money. That shelf right there got the Secret Project and the Gunmetal Mark III and Mark IV. I know they're worth some change. Any kit bashes? Yes. I have an Obadiah stain. I have actually a few of those. I have an Obadiah stain that I made where I took my Ironmonger, comes with the head, and I put that on a body, and I got him in a box. I'm not finished with him yet, and I've got a Loki that I've put him in the suit with the scarf and the staff that we see him when he's in. Gosh, was he in Berlin? I don't remember where he was, in Germany when the Avengers first encounter him. I've got that, and then this one here that I really spent a lot of time on, and I bought like 5 or 6 figures to get, was this Johann, what was his last name? The Red Skull, Hugo Weaving, because he's so bad. He's a bad guy. And I tell you, if you watch my older videos when I talked about him, I just knew we were going to see him in Infinity War. I just knew it because they didn't kill him. He just kind of disappeared. And so I was pleased to see him. So I built this, and trust me, I'm not a Nazi or a racist or anything at all. And so I built him before all that became a big deal, where everybody and their brother's saying that shit all the time now, which really torques me off. So don't think for one second just because I have this figure that has anything to do with it. But I had to get all these little guys to make him because there wasn't one figure that had everything that he has. So, for instance, this little wound badge, in order to have a gold one, you have to have had died. So they had black, silver, and gold. And I guess the silver one was like a certain amount of damage. But gold, you died. So essentially they considered he had died when he became the Red Skull. So I had to paint this one gold to get it gold. And so no figures had all the stuff. So I built him, and he's kind of like the one I love to hate because I'm embarrassed to own him. But I really tracked him down. I mean, I've been working on this guy for years to get him. And so I don't talk about him much because the current climate is, but that's my kit bashed figure there. The one I'm probably the most proud of. And we're talking about the third party. This is, what was her name? Scooby-Doo. Delma and Daphne. This is Daphne from Scooby-Doo. And so this is from Very Cool, I think is who made this. So it's a Phicen body with these clothes that you bought. So third-party clothes. Dragon Ball SH Figuarts, and they are the best for posing. Oh, that's good to know. Most mine is Hot Toys NECA, although thinking about getting rid of NECA maybe. Why? Because they, is it not what you wanted? The NECA? You talking about the NECA quarter scale? I have an SH Ultraman. Dude, Ultraman. Man, when I seen that, I remember watching Ultraman when I was like a little kid. And when I seen that, I was like, oh man, Ultraman. I don't remember anything about the cartoons. I mean, I remember nothing about them. Except I remember that I watched them when I was a little kid. So I was pretty stoked when I seen that they were making Ultraman figures. And again, it's another one that I thought about. Ragnarok Loki. I am. Red Skull. Those suits, kit bashing, are pain. Yes, they are. That's why the Loki and the Obadiah Stane are still in their boxes. Because I've not got the feet right on them. Can't get the... so where do I have them at? They're out in the garage, actually. Whenever I buy these little guys, though, I'm always looking for accuracy. Because a lot of times I'll make a figure that resembles it, but isn't like dead on. This looks pretty dead on. The chick I have is episode 4, Leia and Rose Tyler from Doctor Who. Way too much NECA becoming a hoarder rather than have Hot Toys. I'm with you, man. The only Star Wars figure I have other than the Astromechs is the Rey, and that's because that's how originally how BB-8 came. It came as a set with Rey. I don't remember. I don't think you could have bought it without the Rey figure. This guy's pretty cool. Comes with a couple of extra hands. And a little bitty teeny weeny Ant-Man as well. So this is the Civil War Ant-Man. Man, I'll tell you what, I wish, I mean, Hot Toys made a full-on one-to-one life-size Ant-Man that was life-size. And they had them on their display out at their shows that they did out in, I think it was Hong Kong. And I would love to get that because that would be an awesome giant man. Dude, that's my work. That's the call I've been anticipating. So I will talk to you guys later, and I'll see y'all next Saturday. And